He was born in Harlem, New York, on September 7, 1930. His name was Theodore Walter Rollins. The world would come to know him simply as Sonny. From the very beginning, music was in his blood. Growing up in Sugar Hill, the cultural heart of Harlem, young Sonny was surrounded by the sounds of jazz, gospel, and the blues. He picked up the alto saxophone at just 9 years old. By the time he was 14, Sonny had switched to the tenor saxophone, the instrument that would define his legacy. He practiced with a ferocity that bordered on obsession, playing in basement jam sessions with other young musicians who would themselves become legends. At 16, he was already performing professionally. At 18, he walked into a recording studio for the first time. The jazz world had no idea what was coming. In 1949, he recorded alongside bebop giants Bud Powell and Fats Navarro. But the road was not without its struggles. At 20, Sonny was arrested and served time at Rikers Island. He would later call it a turning point, a moment that forced him to confront himself. He came back stronger. In 1951, he was recording with Miles Davis. In 1952, Thelonious Monk himself took Sonny under his wing, a mentorship that would shape his musical philosophy for life. By 1956, at just 26 years old, Sonny Rollins walked into Rudy Van Gelder's studio in New Jersey and recorded Saxophone Colossus, one of the greatest jazz albums ever made. The world finally had a name for what he was, a colossus. In 1957, he headed west and recorded Way Out West, posing in a cowboy hat in the California desert. In 1958, he stood among 57 jazz legends on a Harlem stoop for the iconic photograph A Great Day in Harlem. Then, at the height of his fame, Sonny did something no one expected. He disappeared. From 1959 to 1961, he retreated to the pedestrian walkway of the Williamsburg Bridge, practicing alone in all weather, day and night, refusing to perform until he felt truly ready. He came back in 1962 with The Bridge, a masterpiece born from solitude and discipline. It remains one of the most remarkable comebacks in music history. Through the 1960s, Sonny explored new worlds. He recorded the soundtrack for the film Alfie. He studied yoga and Eastern philosophy. He traveled to India to deepen his spiritual practice. In 1965, he married his beloved Lucille Pearson, the woman who would be his partner and manager for the rest of his life. In 1972, he signed with Milestone Records and entered one of the most prolific periods of his career. He performed at the White House for President Jimmy Carter. He played an unaccompanied solo on The Tonight Show. He toured the world with an electric band that fused jazz with funk and rock. In 1981, Mick Jagger called. Sonny recorded saxophone solos for the Rolling Stones' landmark album Tattoo You. He was 51 years old and still expanding the boundaries of what was possible. The honors began to accumulate. The NEA Jazz Master designation, the National Medal of Arts from President Clinton, the Polar Music Prize from Sweden, the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, the Edward McDowell Medal, the Library of Congress Living Legend designation, each one a testament to a life lived entirely in service of music. After the September 11th attacks, Sonny performed a tribute concert in New York City. He recorded it and released it as Without a Song, the 9/11 concert. It won the Grammy Award for Best Jazz Instrumental Album. He was 72 years old. As the years passed, Sonny retreated to his home in Woodstock, New York. He practiced yoga. He meditated. He listened to his vast catalog of recordings. He mentored young musicians. He gave rare, thoughtful interviews about music, spirituality, and the meaning of a life well lived. On September 7, 2020, Sonny Rollins turned 90 years old. He was still Sonny, still curious, still searching, still in love with the music that had defined every breath he ever took. He passed away peacefully on May 25, 2026, in Woodstock, New York. He was 95 years old. Sonny Rollins did not just play the saxophone. He breathed through it. He prayed through it. He lived through it. From a child in Harlem to a colossus of American music, his was a life of extraordinary beauty, discipline, and grace. Rest in power, Sonny. The music never ends. If this tribute moved you, please like and subscribe. Share it with someone who loves jazz. And leave a comment below. What is your favorite Sonny Rollins album? We would love to know.